Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about some of the practical side of hospitality. But first, a story. Years ago, Ted and I had discussed on a Saturday evening, and then the church was smaller then. Why don't we have people over? Whoever wants to come over tomorrow, we'll just have like a cookout or something. I don't know, maybe. It was left to kind of at maybe. And we never came to a decision, so I figured, we're not going to do that. So worship is done at church. Ted gets up to give the announcements, and he says, hey, anybody who wants to come over today and come over this afternoon, bring something to share. We're going to have meat to grill and all of this stuff. And I'm sitting there listening to him with, like, my eyes are, like, getting bigger. I'm like, what does my bathroom look like? I don't even have any hamburgers or hot dogs. I don't have anything. So I scoot out during the sermon. Okay, hamburgers, hot dogs, buns, watermelon, potato salad, a box of brownies. Those whip up really fast. But, we've learned since then to, and husbands, don't do this to your wives. What does my kitchen look like? But anyway, the definition, hospitable. To receive a guest, friendly, kind, showing care, attention, or concern for a person's welfare, prompted by friendliness, favoring the health, growth, comfort of new arrivals. And you'll have new arrivals coming, that you might not know, to your small group, not all that well, and it's good. They're not going to come to your house if you haven't been friendly ahead of time, so I was glad that Rachel talked about that. Romans 12:13 says, when God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality. And 1 Peter 4:9 says, cheerfully share your home with those in need of a meal or a place to stay. And a couple of these words, it's like, be ready, right. Be eager, cheerfully share your home with those in need. So I'm going to give some practical aspects of hosting. And much of what you do to prepare happens before the small group ever happens. So when people get there, you're free to talk and connect and love on them and not be preparing. I think of Mary and Martha, where Martha's all in a tizzy. Why is not my sister helping me? You can get in that, and that takes away from the cheerfulness of the atmosphere if you're all in a tizzy. So plan ahead, think ahead. So what to do before? And I was sitting in front of Kathy. She's like, she's going to talk about cleaning your house. Well, I will get to that. But think of some simple snacks. You don't have to go crazy about this. You don't have to cook up, something on the Food Network. Chips and salsa. You can buy store-bought cookies. It's okay. But having that environment of sharing food together is just so welcoming. And when people first get, have them ready and out when they first get there because, hey, have some chips, have some dip, whatever. And these conversations start over food and over the table. And you're hearing how people are doing and what's going on in their life. And, you're in the middle of eating a cookie and, this person over here is like, come over here. This person needs prayer for this. And all of a sudden you have an impromptu prayer meeting and you're just around the table. So food is good, and you don't have to make it stressful. Get some simple, throw together recipes if you want to know any. Buffalo chicken dip is like my go-to. Something easy, something simple, so you're not stressed out, but something tasty. I also think about something salty, something sweet, something healthy. That pretty much covers what everybody likes to eat. And the drinks that you have, they don't have to be complicated. Powdered lemonade, a glass of ice water, some coffee with creamer and sugar, nothing crazy. Use paper plates, plasticware. If you start making it fancy, people feel less comfortable. Like, I don't want to break her mom's specialty, thing. And yeah, clean your house. You don't have to go crazy with this either. There are only so many rooms that you're going to be in. Just declutter. Make room for people. clean it up. I mean, have you ever gone to the house where you walk in and you get handed a coffee mug, and then you look and you're looking at the kitchen and it's a little crazy, and then you go sit down at the dining table and it's a little sticky. And, I mean, a clean house is a welcoming house. You want to feel like you're like, ooh, I'm going to get a disease or something. Or you don't have to go overkill. But on the opposite spectrum, you don't want it sterile either. So, you know, like, well, I can't touch this cup, and I don't know if I should sit on that because that looks really, I mean, you want it comfortable and welcoming, because, you know, when you feel comfortable, you're more open and free to get to know people. It's a really good thing. Kids will be coming to your house. You know, when you're, you know, my age, my kids are adults now, and kids come over, it's nice to have some toys stuck over here in a closet you can grab really quickly, or, you know, Matchbox cars or Legos or sidewalk chalk. We had people over yesterday with small children. We had sidewalk chalk. I have beautiful drawings all over my driveway right now. You know, just be prepared for that. So have some toys, have some folding chairs available, because you don't know how many people might be coming. So you want them all to feel comfortable, and something you can grab at a moment's notice. Nothing fancy, like, you know, the chairs you take to your sporting events. You can just unfold really quickly and have there for extra seating. Have some blankets, like stacked in a basket somewhere, in case people get cold as they're sitting there and they're discussing. It's just comfortable. It's comfort. Think of a place to put the coats out of the way of the meeting areas. Just, you know, lay them on your bed, or, you know, have a place that you know you're going to take them and keep them. I mean, this goes without saying. Turn off the TV before people arrive, unless you're having a Super Bowl party. Then you should have the TV on, or people get mad. You know, your cell phone, put it away, turn it off. Put it out of reach. You know, we have teenagers over a lot. You know, we have youth group. We're often, you know, turn yourself off, put it away, or, you know, just so people can be with the people that they're with at the moment. So what do you do during? Rachel talked about that a lot. You know, you're just keeping your eye out for people's needs. You know, you're discussing in a group, someone's getting emotional. Have tissues available for them. Does a nursing mother need to feed or console her baby somewhere? Show her where she can go, and, you know, give her a place to be for that. Does someone need something in your kitchen that you haven't set out? You know, be aware of that and help them find it. Just be aware. If, you know, afterwards people are conversing and you see one of the people there is off by themselves, be the person to go over, engage them in conversation, and make them feel at home and comfortable. Sometimes there's frustrations. I mean, we've been doing small groups or having youth group in our house for, seems like forever, 20 years or so, I don't know. Things get spilled. It happens. Things get broken. Sometimes people get sick all over your carpet. These all things have happened. I'll tell you a story about a spill. Christian Donahoe, I don't know if you know who he is. This was a youth group thing. He is coming up behind Ryan Dykeshorn, and he's going to give him this big bro hug. But he doesn't know that Ryan is carrying a plate of hot fudge cake with ice cream and lots of hot fudge. And he just, it goes flying, and it lands on my dog, who can't eat chocolate, and he's a Sheltie, so he had all this hair, and the dog is standing there like, I'm like, okay, someone grab the dog, okay, we gotta clean this up, and we end up carrying the dog and giving him a bath. But another time, a story about something getting broken, one of the boys' friends, Josiah Kaiser, and I love this about our youth group back then, like, and it still happens now. They'll just break into impromptu worship, and it's great, and it's awesome, and Josiah, I don't know if you ever have been here on a Friday night when he's playing the drums. He plays the drums. So he's got my African drum and puts his hand right through the sheepskin on the top. And he brings it over and he's like, this is his face. I'm like, whatever, it happens, Another lady, she's getting ready to go. She's zipping up the kids' coats, and all of a sudden the child, all over the carpet. And, it happens. You're a servant, and it's okay. Invest in a carpet cleaner. We've had to use it more than once after a youth group meeting. Sometimes you make the effort to prepare, and no one shows up that night. And they didn't tell you they weren't coming, or just a few people. And that can be discouraging after you've put that effort in to wipe down your bathroom and make some food and no one comes. Oh, okay, so that can be discouraging. But the next week, you could have 20 people. And it just happens that way. People have schedules and things happen. Don't get discouraged by that. And sometimes that smaller group, God wanted that smaller group, because you could share more intimately with what's going on in your life, pray more deeply for people. You have more time, and maybe God wanted it that way that night, and it's okay. So really, that's all I have to share. Have food, love people, clean your house a little bit. Don't get crazy about it. Just make people feel comfortable in your space.
Can you talk, Janet, about when the bad things happen, something breaks, something spills, they throw up on your carpet? How do you respond as a hostess that makes them not feel?
Well, I start helping them immediately. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Here, let's get some towels. Let's get some whatever, or just laugh. I mean, over the drum, we just laughed. Because we had this little window where it was like we put an addition on, so it was like a little pass through, we called it, and they came up to the window and they're like, and it's like, oh, I mean, it was just funny. I mean, you just do. I mean, I don't know. Ted and I we're just pretty easygoing anyway. And we don't really have all that much that I'm not all that worried if it gets broken. I mean, we had some wise men lose their heads around Christmas. Just glue it back together. You just don't make them feel bad about it. I mean, stuff happens. So, does anybody have anything to add, share? All of you probably are so good at small group, but this is like a no-brainer what all of you have had to say, but yeah.
One of the things that I found is if you've got a food allergy person, find that out.
Yeah.
And mark your food just as peanuts, so you don't have that issue. Another thing that I found is some people don't like pets around them, or they're allergic to them, so it's maybe best to put them elsewhere unless
Yes.
it's okay with them. Like a
Right.
cat jumping on a person.
Yeah, they do, and I'm allergic to cats. For the sake of the tape, mark your food, with food allergy thing, this is gluten-free, or this is containing peanuts, or whatever, so people don't get into an allergy situation, or deal, with your pets, put them away if you know that somebody is allergic. So, anything else? Ruth, I know you have a lot you could say.
If you're inviting new people, you may want to shut your phone off.
Shut your phone off. That's true. Yeah. True. Yeah, you don't want to totally ignore somebody who's lost. Keep your phone on, but don't be staring into it. I'm going to check my Facebook or whatever, my email. Anybody else? Yes.
I really like that you and your husband are focused on their souls rather than your
possessions. That stuff you can't take with you.
Right.
It may be valuable to the man, the drum, and I'm sure it has some memories to you, but it sounds like you really care about the soul more than the earthly possessions.
Yeah, so,
That's beautiful.
well, you
And
know,
I'm gonna
buddy.
encourage you to keep doing that.
Yeah, and too, I mean, if you have something that you're worried about getting broken, just put it away for the night. I mean, I have stuff that I just keep in my bedroom, you know, not leave it out there. You know, having a youth group, you know, we have active people at our house, and things can easily happen. So, all right.